Mr. Reyes. Whether it's Whitman, Emerson, Ginsberg, or Bly, most American poetry sits on bookstore shelves like these, waiting to be experienced. But New Mexico poet Larry Goodell isn't too happy with that. As the title to his newly released book, Firecracker Soup, suggests, the explosive nature of poetry should not be confined to paper or podium.
Come on up where we're forward looking. We don't look behind. It's progress and big houses, bulldozers, development, rip off earth for money, overpopulate a naturally sparse land. Overpop is in. Someone's got to do it. We'll do it. This was made by Lenore following a dream I had, in which I was no longer such a skinny guy, but simply put on muscles, just like that. Publish the poets just after they're dead. Pray that the living will go. Do you have any makeup? Well, now why is this more complicated than anything else? You just got to revert to normal. I don't consider myself a weirdo. I consider myself a person who is trying to live an honest life in America. Go kill a dinosaur for breakfast, oh dream spirit. Me, I am an Indian rip-off Anglo with nothing at my center but an urge to pee. Me rip off anything to win a prize. The noble savage is my master. God is my bank. Coyote and deer and bear step aside when I cash my check. I'm simply a poet. People call me a performance poet, but that's not my term. Sometimes when I put on a, quote, reading, end quote, I do have a little hesitation there about whether it's just a reading, because I realize that I launch off into various other things. Suicide of the Damp Birds. This is about how some people read poetry. Now it helps to put some marbles in your mouth first. Sea-slick time of the bare, barren rock bounces pitifully down these hedgerow streets of oblique Pittsburgh or dank Seattle, as my paranoia headache gives the turns in the Adirondack swamp reasons to kill their useless, feather-damp selves. From a work called The Blue Spaceman, I come in carrying the spacecraft. Lift off the lid, and inside are all the little things that I need. For instance, here is a character in The Blue Spaceman, very elementary, very elemental. Rock woman! I don't know what I am. I guess I'm a performance poet. And I take advantage of whatever it is that I have to take advantage of. I mean, I learned tap dancing, I learned piano, so why not bring these things back, you know, the ghosts of high school, and incorporate them into your act. That's why I do the songs. The bomb, you're so cute and strong, but so remote. The bomb, you're so cute and strong. I like something that's potent, something that has real clout, something that's so important, when it comes everyone will shout. The bomb, you're so cute and strong, but so remote. The bomb, you're so cute and strong. Now they make you labor, turning those dynamos. I don't think it's your pleasure. Put that in there. Don't you dare take that out, Matthew. Well, now the academics can't just push me aside as a performance poet, and they have a book staring at their face, and they're going to have to deal with it. And books are all that the academics can deal with, just about. So I do believe that it will function to put me a little more in maybe an island in the mainstream someplace. I don't know, perhaps. It'll just cause me to be taken a little more seriously, I think. Serious art for John Milton on his birthday, December 9th, 1981. We are the serious reminders that we once lived in America, in New Mexico, holding a fossil that doesn't roar like a seashell up to our ears. Everything we have is invisible, and there isn't a laugh to be seen. Only serious art lives on like some tight corset stuck in an ice cube. And that is our God, our professor of head, our intellectual employer in the cool blue skies with a smudge of money laid across the landscape. You have to be dead to be serious enough to win the right praise, the right review, the bank president's handshake. As you sit in your pearl seat and welcome the new year, eating sprouts and drinking wine fit to toast a king. You are the queen bee reviewer of the limp art. You make it whole with the lines that build in furrows on your face. Intellectual to the point of an open red book which expresses every serious cell in your human body. Let's be serious. If you want the job, don't laugh. My father's favorite song, San Antonio Rose. Damn it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, here I am. The problem with that program, it is so yuppie oriented and upper class oriented, it's offensive to me. You talk to these people in Santa Fe, well, now what's your budget, you know? Well, we got about $100,000 for this little addition here, you know. Oh, for Christ's sake. We can't allow anybody to have an inflated ego. Anybody with an inflated ego has just got to be poked until something happens. They lose a little bit of that noxious gas. And that's the problem with a lot of people that become so self-righteous in what they're doing. They make so much money and do this and that they feel that they have no responsibilities and they want to just blot out the other side of the world. And the other side of the world is where it's happening, not in their craniums. This has to do with the voracious American need to develop, and generally it's a wealthy building for the wealthy. That hill, develop the hell out of that hill till there's nothing left but the rich staring at the rich, the greedy dripping on the greedy, the tasteful yards of swings and horses, poisoned lawns and subdued noises, screeching vistas. See, we made it. It's silently protruding as the poor, stinking there below, wallow in their garden filth. Their puny trailers, and old-fashioned true adobe homes and new American cars are far from New Age plunder of the old to fabricate the rich. Tear the hell out of nature just to get your vista there. Change everything around to serve the overpopulation plague. Get more made-it part-time millionaires in to boost your self-esteem. Preen you with their easy, oh-so-white feeling, oh so similar to you, bounding up the ladder of your oily ego, preening narcissistically, oh so pathetically, power puking on your hill for all to see. I like gardening. I like being kind of out. I find that the schizophrenic existence of, say, working in town and then living out away from town, where you can kind of pretend that the natural world has a chance on this planet, is very nice indeed. The reason organic gardening is very important is because it's being in touch with something really old. And if we are not going to be in touch with something really old on this planet, the planet is just going to be kaput, period. We have to go back to the roots. We have to go back to the pesticide-free roots and herbicide-free garden. We just cannot continue that crap anymore. You wanna dump it on my head. You wanna dump it on my pregnant cat. You wanna dump it on my bed and say, don't worry today. You think we don't know where it's at. You wanna ship it here in trucks. They'll come from everywhere, night and day. And if it crashes, spills out, hard luck, just try to clean it up. I wish you'd find another sucker state. You wanna dump in our backyard your 1,055,000-gallon cans. Out of sight, out of mind, no rust, no leaks if you're blind. I know it's just another short-term dream. You wanna dump it on our bed. A salter land is still New Mexico, and it's the land of enchanted waste for big city states. New Mexico, the garbage state, the land of enchanted waste. New Mexico, the sucker state. New Mexico, the garbage state, the land of enchanted waste. Originally, I was a little dissatisfied with a typical poetry reading in which you may have a podium, fluorescent lights, and a poet up there, just rustling through pages looking for the next poem to read. So I got concerned. Again, it has to do with trying to see all around the issue, enlarging the issue. What does the back of the poem look like? What does the poet look like? What is the lighting in the room like? I mean, I don't like fluorescent lights. I don't like to be stuck behind a podium. I don't like just to be rustling through a book. I like for what does the book look like? So I got involved in putting cloth banners on back of poems and putting poems on objects and changing my look according to the needs of the poem. I don't think I ever tacked stuff on. I think it came out of the need of the poem and of the voice. These are made out of muslin, very easy to make. And who do you think this old guy is? Well, it's hard to say, except for his age. Here's another one. This is made in the same way. This allows the mouth to be free so I can speak and read. Missiles here, missiles there, missiles everywhere. I don't think I'm terribly cynical. I write satire. There's nothing wrong with satire. In fact, I think the government would just run over us if it weren't for satire. Reagan is a dildo, a doorstop, a drip, a dungeon, a dodo, a deacon, a dunce, a dilly, a dork, a dupe, a dink, a dick, a dong, a drudge, a dingling, a dolt, a dimmer switch, a dime a dozen, a dyed-in-the-wool, a dirigible, a dinkaroony, a deflatable, a demented, a decomposed, a doomaflitchy, a demagnetized, a desensitized, a discombobulated, a disimpaired, a disestablished, a disinclined, a deter, a disattached, a doorbell, a decal, a decoy, a dum-dum, a doomsday, a dilly-bob, a defecation, a deed, a dude, a dung, a dicky-bird, a donkey-doo, a diddly-poop, a dunky-dory, a dolly-dunker, a dispatched, a derelict, a dud, a dip, a din, a dad, a did, a did, a done. If a sentence ever pops into your head that doesn't exactly relate to what your train of thought was, that is the beginning of a poem. And if you want to write a poem, simply immediately, no matter what you are doing, you could be talking to the President of the United States, say, excuse me, Mr. President, but I have something more important to do. You write down that line and wait a moment. And if you're lucky, another line will just appear to follow it. I must tell you about this new product which I am marketing. And this is going to allow me to achieve fame and fortune, I'm sure. Just wait till you hear about it. The Writer's Wonder Worker. The Poetry Writer's Wonder Worker turns you on when you want to be turned on. Write till you're blue in the face. Mrs. Stewart's bluing will have nothing on you. Pump out sonnets. Greeting card verse, doggerel for Reader's Digest, ditties to please God in your church program. Bombard the mails with your 100 simultaneous submissions. The Wonder Worker has a button and a dial and electrodes for each side of the brain. Set the dial, push the button, and turn on the universe of smiles that will greet your poeticizing. Try on anything for size, from free verse to couplet, epode to love song. Nothing can go wrong with the Poetry Writer's Wonder Worker as you blossom into verse. Visa, MasterCard accepted, no one rejected. If you're a real artist, if you're a real poet, God knows what you're going to do next. Hopefully, I'm simply an articulate human being trying to sing out my soul, and somehow, if someone hears it, fine, and I can be thankful that I have the ability to do it in a way that goes beyond the borders of the state, hopefully goes beyond the borders of the country, goes beyond the borders of the earth. Who knows, maybe some of these utterances someday will be appreciated on another planet if we have a good translation, because, works suffer in translation.
Academic gold, those poets of old keep critics in furs, dope, and bread.